I never thought I'd catch my own grandson forging my signature to blow $5,000 on fake Charlie D'Amelio VIP tickets while his parents cheered him on from halfway across the world. Let me show you what I mean. Picture this. Me, storming into Liam's bedroom at 2 in the morning, finding hidden debt notices stuffed under his mattress. Then a video call where my daughter-in-law actually smirks at me through the screen saying, "Let him chase dreams, Betty, it's harmless fun." Liam packing a duffel bag at midnight, whispering about running away to LA for a real meetup with some stranger online. My viral TikTok expose blowing up with 1 million views overnight. A confrontation at Sunday church that explodes into family secrets nobody wanted aired out. But here's the real question. Will I save him before this toxic web pulls him under for good? If you've ever fought for family against invisible enemies like screens and neglect, stick with me. This is my raw truth. I'm Betty Harrington, 63 years old, retired teacher from the sunny suburbs of Los Angeles, where palm trees hide cracked foundations and perfect lawns cover up broken families. It all started at our neighborhood block party last September. I remember standing by the dessert table, paper plate in hand, watching the Martinez kids chase each other through sprinklers, the smell of grilled burgers mixed with jasmine from Mrs. Chen's garden. Everyone kept asking about my retirement, offering congratulations like I'd won something. Truth is, I didn't know what to do with myself yet. For 32 years, I taught English at Roosevelt High, graded papers at kitchen tables, chaperoned proms, watched generations of kids grow up. My husband Tom used to joke that I cared more about other people's children than taking it easy. He died 4 years ago. Heart attack in the garage while fixing that old Chevy he loved. So I filled the empty space the only way I knew how, volunteered at the high school for homecoming prep, baked casseroles for church potlucks every Wednesday, kept busy. Then my son Marcus called. "Mom, we need a favor," he said. His voice had that tight sound, like he was asking for something big but trying to act casual. "Sarah and I just got this incredible contract 6 months in Singapore, maybe longer. The opportunity of a lifetime." I already knew what was coming. We need someone to look after Liam. My grandson, 14 years old. Lanky kid with his father's dark hair and his mother's sharp cheekbones. Sweet boy, or at least he used to be. I said yes before Marcus even finished explaining. What else was I going to do? Let my grandson bounce between friends' couches while his parents chased corporate dreams overseas? Liam moved in on a Tuesday. He showed up with 2 suitcases, a gaming laptop, and a phone that never left his hand, not once. I watched him walk through my front door, eyes glued to that glowing screen, barely acknowledging the lemon pound cake I'd baked special for his arrival. "Thanks, Grandma," he mumbled, disappearing into the guest room. The first week was fine, quiet mostly. He'd come down for dinner, answer my questions with one-word responses, then vanish back upstairs. I figured he was adjusting, missing his parents. Normal teenage stuff. Then I started noticing things. The packages arriving almost daily. Amazon boxes stacked by the front door. I'd ask him what he ordered, and he'd shrug. "Just some clothes, Grandma, for school." But these weren't normal clothes. Crop tops, platform sneakers, accessories I didn't even have names for, everything in specific colors, pastels mostly, pink and lavender and baby blue. The kind of stuff I'd see teenage girls wearing at the mall, not my grandson. "Liam, honey, why do you need all this?" I asked one evening, holding up a glittery phone case still in its wrapper. His face went red. "It's fashion, Grandma, you wouldn't understand." I let it go. Figured it was teenage identity stuff. Kids these days express themselves differently. Tom always said I was too quick to worry. But then came the dancing. I'm not talking about normal dancing. I mean hours in front of his bedroom mirror, phone propped up, recording himself doing these weird choreographed moves. The same routines, over and over. His music thumping through the walls at midnight. At first I thought maybe it was healthy. Physical activity. Better than video games. Then I learned about Charlie D'Amelio. Some TikTok star. A girl barely older than Liam with 100 million followers. I didn't understand it. Still don't really. But my grandson was obsessed. He'd talk about her like she was a personal friend. "Charlie posted a new dance today, Grandma." I gotta learn it. His allowance disappeared faster than ice cream in August. $50 here, $75 there, money I gave him for school lunches and movies with friends. All of it vanished into merchandise, posters, hoodies with her face printed across the chest, limited edition water bottles that cost $40. I started getting calls from school. Liam was skipping classes, spending lunch periods in the bathroom filming TikToks. His grades were slipping. The guidance counselor used words like distracted and socially withdrawn. At the homecoming prep committee, I overheard other volunteers whispering. Apparently, Liam had performed one of these Charlie dances during the talent show auditions. The kids laughed, not with him, at him. My heart broke. I saw echoes of Tom in those moments, how absent he'd been toward the end, buried in that garage, obsessed with projects that never got finished, the way I'd failed to pull him back before it was too late. I made a vow right there at that church basement table, surrounded by tissue paper and ribbon for centerpieces. As a strong woman who'd raised a family and shaped young minds for 3 decades, I would not let my grandson slip away. I would protect him. Then came the notification. I was loading the dishwasher after dinner when my phone buzzed. A bank alert. Purchase attempt declined, insufficient funds in savings account. My retirement savings account. The one I never touched. The one with Tom's life insurance money still sitting there, meant for emergencies and maybe a trip to see the Grand Canyon someday. Amount: $4,999. Merchant. VipStarConnect.com. My hands started shaking. Soap suds dripped onto the kitchen floor. I looked up at the ceiling, toward Liam's room, where his music still thumped. And I knew everything was about to change. I waited until after school to confront him. Didn't want to ambush him first thing in the morning. Didn't want this to be about anger. I'd spent 32 years teaching teenagers I knew rage only builds walls. So I bided my time. Made his favorite after-school snack, peanut butter cookies with chocolate chips, set them on a plate by the kitchen counter and waited. 3:15 came and went. No Liam. 3:30. Still nothing. By 4 o'clock I heard noise from the garage. Music blasting. That same high-pitched pop song he'd been playing on repeat for weeks. I grabbed the cookie plate and headed out through the side door. The scene that hit me was something else. My garage, Tom's old workspace, where he'd spent hours with his tools, and that Chevy was completely transformed. Charli D'Amelio posters covered every wall. Not just a few, dozens. Her face multiplied, all those perfect smiles watching from every angle. And there was Liam. Drenched in sweat, tank top soaked through, repeating the same 8-second dance routine in front of his propped-up phone. Arms flailing, hips swiveling, completely lost in it. He didn't even notice me standing there. I cleared my throat. Liam, honey. He jumped about 3 feet, phone clattering to the concrete floor. His face went from focused to panicked in half a second. Grandma, I didn't. I brought cookies, I said, keeping my voice calm, soft. I set the plate down on Tom's old workbench, now buried under clothing packages and makeup palettes. Liam wiped sweat from his forehead. He looked so young right then, just a scared kid caught doing something he knew looked ridiculous. Thanks, he mumbled, not meeting my eyes. I took a breath. We need to talk about money, sweetheart. His shoulders tensed up. I'm not mad, I continued, but I got a notification yesterday. Someone tried to charge almost $5,000 to my savings account. The color drained from his face. Grandma, I can explain. Was it you? Silence. Long enough that I counted the Charlie posters, 23 of them. It was an accident, he finally whispered. The website said I could cancel if I changed my mind. I was just looking. I moved closer, careful not to step on the merchandise boxes scattered everywhere. Looking at what? VIP tickets, to meet Charlie. His voice cracked. They were doing this special fan event in LA. 5,000 gets you backstage access, a photo, a signed poster. My heart sank. $5,000, Liam. I know it's a lot, but Grandma, you don't understand. This is my chance. Everyone in the group says if you don't go all in, you're not a real fan. What group? He looked away. Just some people online. They get it. I pulled up Tom's old stool and sat down. Needed to stay calm. Needed to reach him. Help me understand. Why is this so important? And that's when he started talking. Turns out he'd been spending way more than I realized. $200 on hoodies, limited edition drops that sold out in minutes. Another $100 on makeup to replicate Charlie's looks for videos. $75 on platform shoes. Where'd you get all that money? I asked. He fidgeted. My allowance. Birthday money from last year. Some odd jobs for neighbors. But his eyes shifted left when he said it, the same tell he'd had since he was 6 years old. He was lying. Something in me ignited right then, not anger, something deeper. That fire I'd carried through 3 decades of teaching, fighting for kids who fell through cracks. That feminist rage against systems that failed children. As a woman who'd taught generations, who'd fought school boards for better resources, who'd stood up to parents who neglected their kids, I would not let neglect win. Not with my own grandson. Liam, I said firmly, I need the truth. He burst into tears. Real, shoulder-shaking sobs, not teenage dramatics, genuine pain. They're never coming back, Grandma. Mom and Dad, they just keep extending the trip. First it was 6 months, now maybe a year. They don't even ask how I'm doing anymore. It's always just, that's great, buddy. And keep up the good work while they're at some fancy dinner. He stumbled backward, tripping over a stack of merch boxes, caught himself on the workbench. The people online, they actually care. They message me every day. They watch my videos. They tell me I'm talented, that I could be famous like Charlie if I just commit harder. They make me feel like I matter. My throat tightened. Tom's absence. Marcus and Sarah's absence. All these holes we leave in children. You do matter, I said. You've always mattered. But even as I said it, I wondered if he believed me. That night I couldn't sleep. Something Liam said kept nagging at me. The group says. Everyone in the group. Who were these people encouraging a 14-year-old to spend thousands of dollars? I'd installed a security camera in the living room 3 months ago, just a precaution after the Hendersons' house got broken into, but it had audio, and it pointed toward the stairs where Liam usually sat during his late-night phone sessions. I pulled up the app on my phone, scrolled back through footage from the past 2 weeks. And what I found made my blood run cold. 2 a.m. calls with strangers, adults, from the sound of their voices, all talking about investment in fame and sacrifice for success, and Charlie wouldn't respect fans who don't commit everything. One voice kept repeating, if you're not willing to do whatever it takes, you don't deserve to meet her. Another, real fans find the money, borrow it, take it, whatever. Liam's voice small and desperate. But my grandma's gonna notice. Then you're not serious enough, someone responded. Charlie only wants dedicated fans. I sat there in my dark bedroom, phone screen glowing, listening to strangers manipulate my grandson. And then I opened my desk drawer, found my checkbook, flipped through the register, comparing it against my online banking. 3 checks were missing from the middle of the book. $500 total, forged signatures, cashed 2 weeks ago at different locations across LA. My hands shook as I set the checkbook down. This wasn't just teenage obsession anymore. This was something far more dangerous. Sunday morning at First Presbyterian Church, I sat in my usual pew 3rd row from the back, right side, same spot Tom and I occupied for 23 years. Sunlight streamed through stained glass windows, painting rainbow patterns across hymn books. Reverend Mitchell was midway through his sermon about faith during times of trial. I tried to focus, tried to pray, but all I could think about were those forged checks and that late-night audio of strangers manipulating my grandson. Mrs. Patterson leaned over from the pew beside me, her perfume overwhelming. "Where's your Liam today, Betty?" I forced a smile. "Not feeling well. Staying home." She made that disapproving clicking sound with her tongue. Kids these days. My granddaughter's the same way, always on those phones. Her parents are never around either, off chasing careers in New York while she runs wild. Other heads turned. The Hendersons, the Chens, Mrs. Rodriguez from the choir. It's an epidemic in our suburb. Mr. Henderson whispered loud enough for half the congregation to hear. Absent parents everywhere. Kids raising themselves. My face burned. They were talking about Marcus and Sarah, about Liam, about me, unable to control a 14-year-old boy. I bowed my head and prayed, really prayed. God, give me wisdom. Show me how to save him. But even as I formed the words, I knew Liam wasn't homesick. He was filming TikToks. After service, I skipped the usual coffee and donuts in the fellowship hall, drove straight home with my heart pounding. Found Liam exactly where I expected in his room, phone propped up, practicing those ridiculous dances. "Feeling better?" I asked from his doorway. He didn't even look guilty. "Yeah, Grandma, just needed rest." I nodded, smiled, went to my room and closed the door. Then I made a decision that would have horrified the teacher in me, the part that believed in privacy and boundaries and trusting young people. I waited until Liam took his afternoon shower, slipped into his room, found his phone on the dresser, still unlocked. My hands trembled as I opened his messages. The first few were normal: friends from school, complaints about homework, someone asking about basketball tryouts. Then I found the group chat, Charlie's Real Fans Only. 37 members, most with profile pictures of Charlie, not themselves. I scrolled up through hundreds of messages. "You need to invest more if you want her to notice you." I sold my Xbox to buy VIP access. That's commitment. "Liam, you're so close to going viral. Just need better equipment, better outfits, more money." One user, Charlie Connector, had sent a private message. "I work with Charlie's management team. For $5,000, I can get you into her next collab video. Serious inquiries only." My stomach dropped. This was a scam, an obvious, predatory scam targeting children. But the worst part? Liam had responded, "I'm working on getting the money. Give me 2 more weeks." I kept scrolling, deeper into his messages. Found texts with his mother. My daughter-in-law, Sophia. The timestamps showed they talked almost daily, more than she talked to me. "Mom, Grandma's getting suspicious about the money." Sophia's response made my blood freeze. "Don't worry, sweetie. Keep buying what you need, keep posting. We'll go viral together when we return." Imagine the family account we could build. The Harringtons take on LA. Your dad and I could get sponsorships. Another message from her. "Your grandma doesn't understand modern opportunities. This is how people build wealth now. You're being smart." And another. "Send me your best TikToks. I'm sharing them with my Singapore friends. You're getting so good." I sat down hard on Liam's bed, phone still in my shaking hands. My daughter-in-law, the woman I'd welcomed into our family, who I'd helped during her difficult pregnancy with Liam, who'd called me Mom for 15 years. She was encouraging this, using my grandson for social media clout, treating his obsession like a business investment. All those career sacrifices I'd made flooded back, turning down the principal position because Marcus needed me during his senior year, taking unpaid leave when Sarah had complications with Liam, always putting family first. And this was how they repaid that devotion, by abandoning their son and weaponizing his loneliness. I felt betrayed in ways I didn't have words for. That evening, I made pot roast, Liam's favorite, mashed potatoes with extra butter the way he liked them, roasted carrots, homemade rolls. We ate in silence. He pushed food around his plate, checking his phone between bites. "I'm running to church for the Monday planning meeting," I said after dinner. "Need anything before I go?" He barely looked up. "Nah, I'm good." I grabbed my purse, kissed his forehead, walked to my car. But I didn't go to church. I parked around the corner and waited. 20 minutes. Then crept back through the side gate, entering through the garage quietly. Through the kitchen window, I watched Liam. He was in the living room, looking around nervously. Then he picked up my purse from where I'd forgotten it on the couch. His hands dove inside. Found my wallet. Started counting cash. I watched my grandson, my sweet, lost, manipulated grandson, steal $1,000 in 20s and 50s from my wallet, bill by bill. His face showed no hesitation, just desperate determination. He stuffed the money in his pocket and put everything back exactly as he'd found it. My legs gave out. I sat down hard on the garage steps, hidden in shadow, and I cried. Real, ugly, shoulder-shaking sobs. For Tom, who wasn't here to help me fix this. For Liam, so desperate for belonging he'd turned to strangers and theft. For Marcus and Sarah, too blind to see what their ambition was destroying. But mostly I cried because I recognized something in Liam's face when he took that money. The same hollow desperation I'd felt after Tom died. That need to fill the void with anything, even things that hurt. The way I'd thrown myself into volunteer work, into church committees, into anything that made me feel less alone. Liam's obsession with Charlie, with those online strangers, with buying his way into belonging, it was the same thing. We were both just trying to survive the absence of people who should have been there. Two broken souls under one roof, drowning in different ways. And I realized something that changed everything. This wasn't about TikTok or money or even Charli D'Amelio. This was about family, about what happens when the people who are supposed to love you disappear. And I was done letting it happen. The neighborhood block party hit full swing by 3 in the afternoon. Martinez family grilling carne asada, Henderson kids running through sprinklers, Mrs. Chen's prize-winning apple pie sitting on the dessert table. Same scene as always, except this time I watched Liam like a hawk. He'd been jumpy all morning, checking his phone constantly, disappeared into his room twice to get something but came back empty-handed both times. I knew something was coming. I just didn't know what. Around 4 o'clock, someone cranked up the Bluetooth speaker. Pop music blasted across the cul-de-sac. A few teenagers started dancing on the Martinez's driveway. Then Liam joined them. At first it was normal, kids being kids. But then he launched into one of those Charlie routines, the complicated one with the arm movements and hip swivels. And people noticed. Neighbors pulled out their phones, started recording. Someone shouted, "Go Liam!" Kids from school circled around, clapping along. My grandson was in his element, smiling wider than I'd seen in months, the attention feeding something hungry inside him. But then I saw the man. Mid-30s, slicked back hair, designer sunglasses, standing at the edge of the crowd with his own phone out, filming everything. Nobody knew him. He wasn't from our street. The dance ended. Everyone applauded. Liam took an exaggerated bow, eating up the moment. And then he walked straight to the stranger. I moved closer, weaving through neighbors, close enough to hear. "That was perfect," the man said. "Exactly what we talked about. You're ready for the next level." Liam nodded, face flushed with excitement and exertion. The stranger held out his hand. "So we're good? Payment clears everything?" My grandson reached into his pocket, pulled out a roll of cash. My cash, the $1,000 from my wallet plus more I didn't even know about. He handed it over. I grabbed Liam's wrist before the man could take the money. "Liam Harrington, what is going on?" The stranger's expression shifted fast, friendly to annoyed. "This doesn't concern you, ma'am." "I'm his grandmother. Everything concerns me." I turned to Liam. "Who is this person?" Liam's face went pale. "Grandma, don't." "He's my manager," he blurted out. "From the fan community. He's helping me get to LA for the Charlie event." The man smiled, but it didn't reach his eyes, just facilitating opportunities for talented kids. "You're taking money from a 14-year-old, my teacher voice came out, the one that made rowdy seniors shut up mid-sentence. "That's called fraud." "It's business." He reached for the cash again. I snatched it from Liam's hand. "Get off my street, now, or I'm calling the police." He hesitated, looked at Liam. "Kid, you want this opportunity or not?" "Go," I repeated. "Before I make a scene, these phones will love recording." The stranger backed off, muttering something about helicopter grandparents ruining everything. I dragged Liam away from the crowd, into our driveway, out of earshot. "Start talking." And he did. The whole story came tumbling out, how he'd racked up $2,000 in debt, payments to fan managers who promised connections, VIP ticket deposits that never materialized, Online courses teaching how to go viral that were just recorded videos anyone could find free on YouTube. $2,000. Gone. Liam, those people are scammers. They're taking advantage of you. You don't understand. His voice cracked. This is my shot. This is how I become someone. You already are someone. No, I'm not. Tears started. I'm just the kid whose parents left. The kid who gets laughed at for trying too hard. Nobody sees me, Grandma, except online. Except when I'm doing this. I opened my mouth to respond, but my phone buzzed. Email notification. Subject line, urgent. Inheritance claim Charlie D'Amelio VIP experience. What the hell? I opened it. Some official-looking message claiming I'd won a lottery I never entered. Prize, 2 VIP tickets to meet Charlie D'Amelio plus $5,000 cash. All I had to do was verify my identity with my social security number and bank account. Did you sign me up for something? I asked Liam. He looked confused. No, I swear. I scrolled down. At the bottom, in tiny print, authorized by S. Harrington on behalf of Guardian. S. Harrington. Sophia. My daughter-in-law had forged something using my name to manipulate Liam further, to dangle fake prizes, to keep him hooked. Behind us, someone's kid knocked over the dessert table. Potato salad and coleslaw went flying. A food fight erupted. Kids screaming and laughing, adults shouting for order. But I barely noticed. Your mother did this, I said quietly, showing Liam the email. No, Mom wouldn't. She's been encouraging you. I saw the texts. I pulled up his messages on my own phone. Screenshots I'd taken. She's using you, Liam. His face went from confused to defensive in seconds. You went through my phone? To protect you. They care more than you think, he shouted. They're building something for us. For our family. You just don't get how the world works now. I get that they abandoned you. Silence. Heavy and painful between us. Neighbors started staring. The food fight had died down. I lowered my voice. I've survived 32 years teaching rowdy teenagers who thought they knew everything. I've buried a husband, raised a son alone. This is my fight now, Liam. Whether you want it to be or not. He wiped his eyes. I don't need saving. Yes, you do. That night after the party, I dug deeper. Found Sophia's secret Instagram account, not her main one, a new one, Harrington Family Adventures. 3,000 followers already. Posts of Liam's TikToks with captions like, "Watch my son slay" and "Future influencer in the making," sponsored content tags, affiliate links to the exact merchandise Liam had been buying. She was making money off his obsession. Every hoodie, every poster, every view he got, she got a commission. My daughter-in-law had turned my grandson's pain into profit. And I was done playing nice. Homecoming night arrived like a storm I saw coming but couldn't stop. I'd spent the afternoon helping decorate the school gym. Streamers, balloon arches, a disco ball that Mrs. Patterson swore looked very modern, the usual suburban attempt at teenage glamour. Came home at 6, expecting to drive Liam and maybe a friend to the dance. Instead, I found him in the living room wearing an outfit that cost more than my monthly electric bill. Pastel purple suit, platform shoes with glitter, a wig, long, dark, styled exactly like Charlie D'Amelio's signature look. "What are you wearing?" I asked. He spun around, modeling. "It's my homecoming look. I'm going as Charlie's date. Everyone's gonna freak out." "Liam, that's not you can't." "It's fashion, Grandma. It's a statement." He checked himself in the hallway mirror, adjusting the wig. This cost $400. Worth every penny. $400. Money he'd stolen. Money from scammers. Money that should have gone to his future, not this delusion. "You're not going," I said quietly. He froze. "What?" "You're grounded. Take that off. We need to talk." His face twisted. "You can't do this. Everyone's expecting me. I posted about it. I have 300 views already." "I don't care if you have 3 million views. You're not leaving this house." "You're ruining my life!" He ripped off the wig, throwing it across the room. "You don't understand anything. This is who I am now. This is who they've convinced you to be. They care about me. They believe in me. I grabbed my phone. Then let's call them. Right now. Let's see what your parents really think. His face went pale. Grandma, don't. But I was already dialing. The video call connected. Marcus appeared on screen, suit and tie, some fancy restaurant behind him. Sophia next to him, wine glass in hand, looking annoyed at the interruption. Mom, this isn't a great time, Marcus started. Make time. We have a problem. I turned the phone toward Liam in his ridiculous outfit, makeup smeared from crying, purple suit wrinkled. What's going on? Sophia asked, but her tone wasn't concerned. It was amused. Your son has stolen over $2,000. He's being scammed online. He's obsessed with a TikTok star to the point of skipping school and forging checks. Silence on the call. Then Marcus sighed. Mom, we know about the TikTok thing. It's fine. It's not fine. He's being exploited. Sophia leaned closer to the camera. Betty, you're being dramatic. Liam's exploring his creativity. This is how kids build personal brands now. It's an investment in his future. I felt my blood pressure spike. Investment? He's 14. Exactly, Marcus chimed in. Perfect age to start. We've been monitoring his engagement rates. His videos are getting decent traction. When we come back, we're planning to really monetize this. Family vlogs, sponsored content, maybe a YouTube channel. Liam's passion could fund his college. You're planning to profit off his obsession? We're planning to capitalize on his talent, Sophia corrected. Her smile was all teeth, no warmth. You wouldn't understand. This is the new economy, influencer culture. We'd be foolish not to encourage it. He's stealing from me. Marcus waved a hand dismissively. We'll pay you back when we return. Consider it a loan, an advance on future earnings. Are you hearing yourselves? My voice shook. Your son is being manipulated by online scammers. He has no real friends anymore. He's failing classes. And you want to make it worse? We want to support his dreams, Sophia said coolly. That's when something inside me snapped. 32 years of teaching, of protecting kids from neglectful parents, of fighting for children who couldn't fight for themselves. It all came roaring out. No child of mine will be exploited, I said, voice steady as steel. Not by strangers online, not by scammers, and certainly not by his own parents. This ends now. Marcus's expression hardened. He's not your child, Mom, he's ours. Then start acting like parents. Sophia laughed, actually laughed. You're so old school, Betty. This is embarrassing. Liam, honey, don't listen to her. Keep posting, keep growing your platform. We'll sort everything out when we're back. When will that be? I demanded. When? They exchanged glances. Probably March, Marcus finally said. There's been another extension. Great opportunity. 6 more months. I opened my mouth to respond, but a sound stopped me. Crying. Not from me, from behind me. I turned. Liam stood in the doorway, still in that purple suit, face crumbling. You're not coming back, he whispered. Not really. You're just going to keep extending, keep finding excuses. Liam, that's not Sophia started. And you want to make money off me? His voice cracked. That's why you've been so nice, so encouraging. It's not about me. It's about views. The silence on that video call was deafening. You think my dances are stupid, don't you? Liam said to me, wiping his eyes. Like your old school moves at church picnics. The electric slide. The Macarena. Despite everything, I almost smiled. My dances are fantastic. They're terrible, Grandma. A small laugh escaped through his tears. Like really, really bad. At least I'm not wearing a wig. He looked at the wig on the floor, then at his parents on the phone screen, then at me. Why don't you come home? He asked them. Really? Why? Marcus fumbled for words. Buddy, it's complicated. The job is more important than me. That's not fair, Sophia said. Isn't it? Liam's voice was different now. Stronger. Grandma's here every day. She makes me breakfast. Helps with homework. Notices when something's wrong, you just... Text. We're building a future for our family, Marcus tried. You're building followers, Liam shot back, for a family account I didn't even know existed. He'd seen it, Sophia's secret Instagram. The truth was finally landing. I woke at 2 a.m. to the sound of my bedroom door clicking shut. Not opening, closing. Someone had just checked if I was asleep. I lay there in the dark, heart racing, listening, footsteps down the hall, careful, trying to be quiet. Then the creak of the front door. I threw off the covers and ran. Found Liam in the driveway, duffel bag over his shoulder, wearing that ridiculous purple suit from Homecoming, the wig, full makeup. Where are you going? He jumped, nearly dropping his bag. Grandma, It's 2 a.m, Liam. I can't stay here anymore. His voice was steady, determined. The Charlie event is tomorrow. Real tickets, real location. I'm going. Those tickets are fake. We talked about this. He pulled out his phone, showing me a confirmation email. They're real. I verified everything. The address, the venue. Other fans are going. I already bought my bus ticket to LA. You bought a bus ticket? Leaves at 2:30. From the stop on Maple. That was 4 blocks away. Liam, those people are scammers. You always say that. He started walking. You don't believe in me. You don't trust me. Maybe Mom and Dad are right. Maybe you're just too old to understand. I grabbed my car keys and followed him down the driveway in my bathrobe and slippers. Get in the car. I'll drive you to the bus stop. We'll talk there. He hesitated, then nodded. The streets were empty at this hour, street lights casting orange pools on asphalt. The city never really sleeps, but at 2 a.m. LA pretends. We drove in silence past closed shops and dark houses. Stars overhead, more visible than usual. The smog must have cleared. At the bus stop, I parked. We sat on the bench together. Why now? I asked quietly. Why tonight? Liam was quiet for a long time, just staring at that empty street, waiting for a bus that would take him into danger. You remember when Grandpa died? He finally said. The question hit me like a punch. Of course. I was 10, 4th grade. He wiped his eyes. Dad took 2 weeks off work, then went right back. Then Singapore happened. Then it was always one more trip, one more opportunity, one more extension. They're working to provide. They're running away, he interrupted. From you, from this house, from everything that reminds them of Grandpa. I figured it out. Every trip started after the funeral. They never stopped traveling. My throat tightened. And they left me here. With you. Who I love, Grandma, I do. But you're sad all the time. Even when you smile. The house is sad. Everything's sad. So I went online. Found people who were happy, who danced, who didn't care about dead grandpas and absent parents, and it felt good. Tears ran down his makeup-smeared face. I'm abandoned, Grandma. We both are. I pulled him close, let him cry on my shoulder, this boy who'd been holding so much pain. I rebuilt my life alone after your grandpa died, I said softly, brick by brick, day by day. It was the hardest thing I've ever done, but I did it, and you can too. You're stronger than you know. I don't feel strong. Neither did I, but strength isn't about feeling ready, it's about showing up anyway. Headlights appeared down the street, not the bus, a black sedan, moving slowly, too slowly. It stopped near us. 2 men got out, mid-30s, one with a camera, the guy from the block party, the fake manager. Liam, he called out. Ready for your big day? Liam stood up. Yeah, let's go. I grabbed his arm. Wait. Something was wrong. These men didn't look like escorts to an event. They looked predatory. How'd you know we'd be here? I asked. The manager smiled. Liam texted the location, said his grandma was being difficult. I never texted that, Liam said, confused. I pulled out my phone, opened Sophia's Instagram. Her most recent story, posted 15 minutes ago. Big things happening for the Harrington brand. Stay tuned. The pieces clicked together. Sophia sent you, I said. The men exchanged glances. "Your daughter-in-law hired us," the manager admitted. "Said you'd interfere. Said we should collect Liam before you stop the opportunity. This is a business arrangement." "You're kidnapping him." "We're facilitating content creation. Imagine the views when we live stream his journey to meet Charlie. The drama, the emotion. We split profits with his parents." Liam stepped back. "What?" "They were never going to let you meet Charlie," I said. "They were going to hold you for ransom views, use you as clickbait." The second man moved toward Liam. I stepped between them. 63 years old, 5'4", wearing a bathrobe. And I tackled him. We hit the ground hard, my shoulders screamed, but I held on, shouting at Liam to run. Except he didn't run. He pulled out his phone and started recording. "Liam, what are you doing?" "Evidence, Grandma. Keep him talking." The bus pulled up. The driver opened the doors, looked at the scene, me on top of some guy, Liam in a Charlie wig filming, two men shouting. "You folks doing some kind of performance art?" the driver asked. "Call the police!" I yelled. He pulled out his radio. The manager and his friend took off running, left us there under the stars. The police took our statements at the bus stop, filed a report about the attempted scam, and told us they'd investigate. But I knew that wasn't enough. This went deeper than con artists and fake tickets. This was about family, about parents who'd weaponized their son's loneliness for profit and attention. So Wednesday afternoon, I called Reverend Mitchell. "I need the counseling room," I told him, "for a family meeting. Can you be there?" He agreed without asking questions. That's what I loved about Reverend Mitchell. He understood crisis when he heard it. I scheduled a video call with Marcus and Sophia, told them it was mandatory, non-negotiable, said if they didn't show up, I'd be filing for emergency custody. That got their attention. 4 o'clock, church basement, the counseling room with its circle of chairs and inspirational posters about forgiveness and grace. Liam sat next to me, still nervous, still processing everything from the bus stop incident. Reverend Mitchell took his seat, opened with a prayer. Then my laptop screen lit up. Marcus and Sophia appeared, both looking irritated at the interruption. "Mom, this is extreme," Marcus started. "We're in the middle of—" "Be quiet," I said, "and listen." I'd spent the past day organizing evidence, screenshots, audio recordings from the security camera, bank statements, everything. "Over the past 3 months, your son has been systematically manipulated," I began, "by online scammers, by toxic fan communities, and by his own parents." Sophia rolled her eyes. "This again." Let me finish. I pulled up the first recording, the audio from Liam's late-night calls with the fan group, strangers telling a 14-year-old to steal, to lie, to do whatever it takes for fame. Marcus's face changed. "Liam, you were talking to these people?" "You knew," Liam said quietly. "Mom sent them to me. She gave them my number." Silence on the call. "Is that true?" Reverend Mitchell asked. Sophia shifted uncomfortably. "I connected him with a networking group. For influencers. I didn't know they'd—" "You knew exactly what they'd do," I interrupted, "because you were getting a cut through your secret Instagram account. Every purchase Liam made, you got affiliate commission." I pulled up her account, showed the sponsored posts, the links, the money trail. "You monetized your son's obsession." Marcus stared at the screen. "Sarah, what is this?" "It's business," she said defensively. "Family branding. I was building something for all of us." "You were exploiting a child," Reverend Mitchell said, his voice measured but firm. "Our child," Sophia corrected, "and we have every right to—" "Did you hire those men at the bus stop?" I demanded, "the ones who tried to take Liam?" The silence stretched too long. "Answer the question, Sarah," Marcus said. "They were content creators," she finally admitted. "I thought we could stage a reunion, film it, make it go viral. I didn't know they'd go off script." My stomach turned. "You put your son in danger for views." "I put him in opportunity." "You put him in trauma." I was shaking now. "He's 14, he has forged checks. stolen money, developed an addiction to validation from strangers, and you encouraged it, fed it, profited from it. Liam was crying silently beside me. Marcus rubbed his face, looked older suddenly, exhausted. "There's something else," he said quietly. Sophia turned to him sharply. "Marcus, don't—" "I'm having an affair." The room went still. "What?" Liam whispered. "The trips, the extensions. Most of it's real work, but I've been seeing someone in Singapore for 8 months." Marcus couldn't look at the camera. "That's why we keep extending. That's why I haven't come home." Sophia's face flushed red. "You're saying this now, here?" "When else?" His voice cracked. "We've been lying to everyone, to Mom, to Liam, to ourselves. This whole family is toxic. We're toxic." Liam stood up, chair scraping against linoleum. "So nobody wants to be here? Nobody wants to be home? Nobody wants me?" "That's not," Sophia started. "Then why?" Liam shouted. "Why am I stuck here while you chase followers and Dad chases women and everyone pretends everything's fine?" Reverend Mitchell stood, moved toward Liam. "Son, take a breath." "I went online because at least those strangers pretended to care." Liam's voice broke. "At least Charlie's community said I mattered. Even if they were lying. Even if they wanted money. It felt like belonging." And there it was, the core of everything. A boy desperate to belong somewhere. Anywhere. I stood up too, placed my hand on Liam's shoulder. "As a woman who spent 32 years teaching empowerment," I said, looking directly at the camera, "I choose truth over comfort. I choose protection over profit. And I choose my grandson over your dysfunction." Marcus nodded slowly. "You're right." "Of course I'm right." "What do you want to do?" he asked. "I'm filing for temporary custody," I said. "You two need to fix your marriage or end it. Either way, Liam stays with me until you can prove you're fit parents again. If you fight me on this, I'll take every recording, every screenshot, every piece of evidence to family court." Sophia looked like she wanted to argue, but didn't. "The police have the scam report," I continued. "I'm not pressing charges against you for conspiracy, but only because it would hurt Liam more than help. Consider that mercy you don't deserve." Reverend Mitchell cleared his throat. "I think this family needs professional counseling, separately and together." "Agreed," Marcus said. The call ended shortly after. Plans made, lawyers to be contacted, therapy to be arranged. When the laptop closed, it was just me, Liam, and Reverend Mitchell in that quiet basement room. Liam turned to me. His makeup was smeared. The wig was gone. He looked like a regular 14-year-old kid again, scared, hurt, but maybe a little bit hopeful. "You're staying?" he asked. "I'm staying. Even after I stole from you? Lied to you?" "Even then." He hugged me. Actually hugged me. The way he used to when he was little. "You're my real family, Grandma," he whispered into my shoulder. "The only one who showed up." And I held my grandson and cried. For everything broken. For everything we'd have to rebuild. But mostly, I cried with relief. Because for the first time in months, I felt like maybe we'd survive this after all. Mrs. Chen from next door taught me how to use TikTok. 63 years old, and I was sitting at her kitchen table learning about filters, hashtags, and something called the algorithm. She was patient, walked me through everything twice. "You really want to do this?" she asked. "I have to," I said. "This is the only language these people speak." It took me 3 days to make the video. I filmed in our neighborhood, walking past the elementary school where Liam used to play, the church where we'd held Tom's funeral, the park with the soccer fields, all those normal suburban LA spaces where real life happens. I talked straight to the camera, no filters, no music, just me. "My name is Betty Harrington. I'm a grandmother, and I almost lost my grandson to something I didn't understand until it was nearly too late." I told the whole story. The obsession, the debt, the scammers, the parents who exploited their own child for social media profit, the midnight bus stop incident. "This isn't about one influencer," I said. "This is about what happens when we let screens replace family, when we mistake followers for friends, When children learn that their worth is measured in views and likes. I showed Liam's empty bedroom, the Charlie posters we'd taken down together, the merchandise piled in boxes for donation. My grandson is 14. He forged checks, stole money, lied for months. Not because he's a bad kid, because he was desperate to belong somewhere. And predators saw that desperation and fed on it. I looked directly at the camera. If you're a parent, be present. If you're an influencer, understand your power. If you're a child watching this, please know that your value isn't online, it's in the real world, with real people who show up. Then, because Liam insisted, I attempted one of Charlie's dances. And failed spectacularly. Arms going the wrong direction, completely offbeat. Liam laughing in the background, coaching me. No, Grandma, other arm. We kept it in, the humanity of it, the realness. I posted it at 8 p.m. on a Saturday night. By Sunday morning, it had 50,000 views. By Monday, 500,000. Tuesday morning, I woke up to 2 million views and my phone exploding with notifications. Mrs. Chen called. Betty, you're trending. Number 4 in the United States. I didn't even know what that meant. The comments poured in, thousands of them. Parents thanking me, teenagers saying they recognize themselves, teachers sharing it with students, local news stations asking for interviews. Then Wednesday afternoon, the notification that changed everything. Charlie D'Amelio herself had reposted my video. With a caption, "This grandmother is right. We all need to do better. To anyone struggling with obsession or feeling pressured by fan culture, your mental health matters more than my content. Please get help." She'd pinned resources, hotlines, therapy apps, support groups. My video exploded. 5 million views, 10 million, 15. It spread beyond TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube channels analyzing it, morning talk shows discussing it. The New York Times called me the grandmother who broke the internet with truth. But the most important calls came from Marcus and Sophia. Separate calls, both crying. Marcus first. "Mom, I'm so sorry, I'm coming home. I ended the affair. I quit the Singapore job. I'll be there next week." Then Sophia. "Betty, I don't know how to fix what I've done. I've deleted the Instagram account, refunded everything I made. I'm in therapy. I know I don't deserve forgiveness, but I'm begging you. Please let me try to be a better mother." I didn't forgive them immediately. Forgiveness takes time. But I acknowledged their effort. That was a start. The viral video changed things in unexpected ways. That meme of me failing the dance? It became bigger than the original video. Wholesome grandma trending everywhere, people making remixes, art students animating it. Someone even made a t-shirt. Liam thought it was hilarious. "Grandma, you're more famous than I ever was." "Infamy isn't the same as fame," I told him. But secretly, I didn't mind. If my terrible dancing could make people laugh and think, I'd take it. The real victory came quietly. 2 weeks after the video, Liam deleted all his fan accounts, took down the posters, packed up the merchandise for donation to a local youth shelter. "I'm done chasing strangers," he said. We went to the neighborhood fall festival together, just walked around, no phones out, no filming, just being. He stopped at the basketball booth, made 3 shots, won a stuffed bear. "I used to play basketball," he said, "before everything. I was pretty good. You could play again." "Yeah, maybe." At the food trucks, he ran into kids from school. Real conversations, real laughter, plans to meet up at the court on Saturday. No performance, no curated moment, just teenage normalcy. On the drive home, he was quiet, thoughtful. "Grandma?" "Yeah, honey? Do you think I'm going to be okay?" I glanced at him. This kid who'd been through so much, who still had healing ahead. "I think you're going to be better than okay," I said, "but it's going to take time, and work, and showing up even when it's hard. Like you did. Like we'll do together." That night, I made a final TikTok post. Just me in the kitchen, baking cookies, Tom's old recipe. "Recovery isn't glamorous," I said to the camera. It's not viral moments and dramatic reveals. It's showing up every day, making breakfast, asking how school went, being present even when it's boring. I pulled cookies from the oven. I turned poison into power, not by destroying the people who hurt us, but by choosing to rebuild, brick by brick, cookie by cookie, day by day. Liam appeared in the frame, stealing a warm cookie. "That's my grandson," I said. "He's going to be okay. We both are." The video got 3 million views. But honestly, the number didn't matter anymore. What mattered was sitting at the kitchen table with Liam, eating cookies, talking about his day. Real connection, real family. Everything else was just noise. 6 months later, everything looked different. Not perfect, not healed completely, but different in ways that mattered. Liam auditioned for the school theater production of The Outsiders, got cast as Ponyboy, spent his afternoons at rehearsals instead of in his room filming TikToks. I watched from the auditorium during Tech Week, saw him on that stage delivering lines with real emotion, real presence, not performing for strangers online, performing because the story meant something to him. After rehearsal, his castmates invited him to get burgers. Real friends, kids who knew his name, not his follower count. "Can I go, Grandma?" he asked. "Be home by 9. He hugged me and ran off with them. Just a regular teenager doing regular teenage things. That's when I knew we'd turned a corner. The divorce papers came through in March. Marcus and Sophia's marriage couldn't survive the truth that came out in that church basement. The affair, the exploitation, the years of using their son as content without caring about the cost. They tried couples therapy. It didn't work. Some things are too broken to fix. Marcus moved back to LA, got an apartment in Silver Lake, sees Liam every other weekend now. They're rebuilding slowly, father and son learning each other again without Singapore and lies between them. Sophia stayed in Asia, sends monthly child support, writes letters Liam sometimes reads and sometimes doesn't. "I'm not ready to forgive her yet," he told me once. That's okay. Forgiveness isn't mandatory. Healing is. He still lives with me. The custody arrangement made it official. My house, my rules, my love. And honestly, I wouldn't have it any other way. Thursdays became our volunteer day at church. We'd spend afternoons setting up for the community fair, arranging donation tables, helping elderly parishioners carry boxes. Simple work, meaningful work. Mrs. Patterson stopped gossiping about absent parents once Liam started showing up consistently. Once people saw him thriving. "You did good, Betty," she told me one afternoon. "That boy's going to be just fine." I hoped she was right. The scars didn't disappear overnight. Some nights, Liam still had nightmares about the bus stop, about strangers trying to take him, about his mother's face on that video call encouraging him to spend more. Therapy helped. Dr. Nguyen specialized in adolescent digital addiction, gave Liam tools to recognize manipulation, to build healthy boundaries, to understand that his worth wasn't measured in likes. "It's like learning a new language," Liam explained to me once. "The old way of thinking just pops up sometimes, but I'm getting better at catching it." Progress isn't linear. Some days were harder than others. But most days were good. I started teaching again. Not full-time, just guest lectures at the high school about media literacy and digital safety, sharing our story, helping other families recognize the warning signs. Parents thanked me in parking lots, sent emails, said the talk I gave saved their relationship with their daughter, their son, their family. "You turned your trauma into teaching," one mother said. "That takes real strength." I didn't feel particularly strong most days, but I showed up. That had to count for something. One Saturday in June, I took Liam to buy a journal. A nice one, leather-bound, the kind that felt important to write in. "What's this for?" he asked. "An heirloom," I said. "Something to pass down. Your story, your lessons, your truth." We sat together at the kitchen table that evening. I opened the first page of my own journal, the one I'd kept since Tom died. Wrote a new entry. "Family is chosen, not poisoned." Liam watched me write. then opened his own journal. What should I write? Whatever you need to remember, whatever you want to forget, whatever helps you heal. He thought for a long moment, pen hovering over blank pages. Then he started writing, and didn't stop for an hour. Later that evening, the sun began its slow descent over the Los Angeles suburbs. I stood on the back porch, same porch where Tom used to tinker with that Chevy, where I'd cried alone after he died, where I'd planned how to save my grandson. The palm trees swayed in the breeze, silhouettes against orange and pink sky, that California sunset that tourists photograph and locals take for granted. But I didn't take it for granted. Not anymore. Everything that happened taught me to notice, to appreciate, to show up for the small moments that build into lives. Liam joined me on the porch, no phone in his hand, just stood there with me, watching the sky change colors. "It's pretty," he said. "Yeah, it is." "Grandma?" "Thank you for fighting for me, even when I didn't want you to." I put my arm around his shoulders. This boy who'd grown 3 inches since last fall, who was becoming a man right before my eyes. "That's what family does." "Real family," he corrected. "Real family," I agreed. The sun touched the horizon, that moment when day becomes evening, when everything shifts. And I smiled. Not because everything was perfect. It wasn't. Not because the pain was gone. It lingered. But because we'd survived. Because we'd fought through toxicity and manipulation and neglect. Because we'd chosen each other when everyone else chose themselves. I am Betty Harrington, 63 years old, retired teacher, widow, guardian, fighter. I live in the sunny suburbs of Los Angeles, where palm trees hide cracked foundations and perfect lawns cover up broken families. But my foundation isn't cracked anymore. My family isn't broken anymore. We rebuilt, brick by brick, day by day, together. And that makes me victorious. The stars started appearing overhead, one by one, pinpricks of light in the darkening sky. Liam pointed at the first one. "Make a wish?" "Already came true," I said. We stood there until the sky went fully dark, until the neighborhood lights flickered on, until dinner needed making and homework needed finishing and life needed living. Real life, messy and hard and beautiful. Exactly as it should be.